everyone, and welcome back to Talk Wordy, my hub for all of the words that I read, write, or otherwise want to yap about. Today, I have a very special author guest on the pod. She is the Texas-based author whose debut novel, Second Time's a Charm, is officially out now. Please welcome Taylor Epperson.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I will tell all my friends, like, whether they're like acquaintances or like personal friends of mine, I'm like, I've been making googly eyes at this girl and all of her posts for over a year now. So the fact that you're on the pod is so stinking cool. And at the time that we're recording this, we have just a tiny bit longer than a week before your book comes out. But how does it feel knowing that when this airs, like it's out, your child is
I
out in the world?
hearing you say out now, I was like, oh, I was like, what do you mean out now? That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm so excited just to make like the difference from saying like out April 21st to out now.
Yeah.
That's like that's the milestone I'm waiting for.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but something about an April release date is it just sounds prettier.
I love April because I don't know, I'm such a spring person, and Second Time's a Charm has this like bright pink cute cover. It's just giving like spring girly in like a little flower field. It's so cute. I love it.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about that cover in a little bit because,
Oh,
oh my
yes.
gosh, hello. Oh my gosh, it's one of the cutest things I've ever seen. But what I like to do with my guests to kick off every episode is talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to. So, reading wise, what have you been
Mhm.
reading?
Okay, so I was off deadline recently, so I've actually read like four books. Well, actually three. I've started the fourth. I just finished And Now Back to You, which is BK Borison's book two in the Heartstrings. I absolutely loved it, which I'm not surprised because I love all her books, but it was such a fun time. And then with the 2026 debut, some of us do like this traveling arc thing where we read each other's books and just mail them around. I read Jordan Taylor's See You at the Summit. That is like an adult rom-com where the female main character, she just came out as bi, but then she's starting to fall for this man, and it is so funny. That book was one of those books that I just stayed up way too late every night reading it because it was so easy and fun.
Those are the best
Um,
kind of books, I swear though. Like when you're like, I'm just gonna have a hard cutoff and I'll stop at this chapter for the
mhm,
night, and then you look
mhm.
down and it's like, oh, it's 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get to bed. And then I read The Free Verse Society by Delali Ajwa, which I finished this book. It's a young adult book about these kids in high school who have like a little bit of a heavier past, and they've got like these family secrets, and they join this like poetry group, and you've got like this misfit group of kids like getting through life together. I started and finished that book in one night
Oh my God.
because it was so good. I was like, this is incredible. I can't believe this is like a book she's getting to debut with. I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
You're having a much more extensive read list than I am. I am just now getting out of a slump, like a
Mm.
bad 3 month long slump.
Ooh, okay.
I think my reading goal for this year was like 40 books. And by end of March, I had read one book that year. So, reading wise, I just finished an advanced listening copy of The Shippers by Catherine Senner.
Okay.
So stinking cute. She has this like unbeatable talent of writing like a third act frustration that literally, if I had a
Oh,
physical copy of the book, I would just throw it. And yet, by the time that I finish the book, it's 5 stars every time. And it's different. The frustration device is different per book. I won't say what it was that frustrated me in this
mhm.
book, but like, oh, oh, it got me. But it was technically an audiobook. So I'm counting it in my reading, not my listening. But um, I read, I read most of it on my drive up to Stillwater, and
Mhm.
it was exactly what I needed. I didn't even feel the hours go by. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so I read that. And then on my Kindle, I've been like finishing up my arc of Foolishly Yours by Rachel Lewis. Uh,
Oh, okay.
she's local to me. She's awesome. I love it. What can I say? It's all romance though. I want to break back into like my fantasy, like my like deep fantasies. I want to try and read something that's not just strictly romance,
Yeah.
but romance is what's going to get me out of my slump. So
I was
it
about
is
to
what it is.
say, if you're in a slump, I feel like romances are the best cure for those.
Yeah, I'm not even mad, but it's just
Yeah.
like I hope maybe by like the fall I'll be in my like deep fantasy. Maybe I'll
hmm
read a thriller or something.
Honestly, I feel like that's fair. Like spring and summer for romances, and then fall and winter for fantasies.
Yep. Which is perfect because yours is kind of a mix of both.
Yep,
This is
yep,
a year-round book.
yep. Anytime, any time of year.
Okay, so that's what we're reading. What are you watching these days? TV, movies?
I really haven't watched anything new. I have rewatched the Lord of the Rings movies
Oh, taste. Yeah.
because those are my favorite. My kids were staying with my mom this weekend, so I was like, I'm gonna rewatch them. What else am I gonna do with my free time? Something productive? No.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, I haven't been watching a lot of movies. I have friends shouting at me to watch movies. Like I have one friend, I love her dearly. I think you actually know her. My friend Maddie is
hmm
constantly like, you have to watch Dracula. And I want to, but I can just never get around to sitting down to watch a movie.
Yeah.
TV wise, though, I have binged both seasons of Exo Kitty, the spinoff of
Okay.
I've done before. Um, so good, so tacky. Two things can be true at the same time. But I'm starting season 3 either tonight or tomorrow, and
I was
I'm
about to
excited.
say, I think I know I've seen season one. I don't remember where I stopped last time though, but I need to watch the new seasons.
They're just so, I mean, the episodes are like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so easy to binge. So, yeah, that's what I've been watching. And then listening to wise, whether that's music or I guess an audiobook or podcast, is there anything that you've been listening to these days that you've enjoyed?
I feel like I post, if you notice, like a lot of my posts are with Noah Kahan songs. I am a big Noah Kahan fan, so I listen to him a lot. I listen to a lot of like that indie folk stuff, but he's also releasing a new album the same week that I'm releasing my book. So that feels like it was like made for me. So I've been listening to his new music. What else? Just other I like Olivia Rodrigo, Conan Gray, like that genre. Spotify puts a lot of that music on my indie playlist, and that really just I love it. I love it all. I like listening to music that makes me feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah, something that you're like, "Ooh, I can score this for this moment."
Yep, exactly.
I was like, music or listening wise, I've really just been listening to a lot of like dance music because I went to Dancing with the Stars this past week and
I
it's all I
saw
can think
that.
about. All
Yes.
I want to do is dance.
Yeah.
And I like asked me to improv and I can't do anything. Like it's a bona fide miracle that they did not pick me for they do like an audience interaction and they bring somebody up on stage and at the end they make them improv for about 6, 8 counts. And I thank God that they did not pull me because they passed by me. And I was like, oh, phew, thank God. But mostly dance music. But I will say, very excited for Olivia Rodrigo's new album and her new single.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
a little nervous because she knows how to write me to filth. And
hmm
then I don't listen to as much Noah Kahan, but the fact that he's releasing an album the same week that you're releasing your debut book, I think that it was meant for you personally.
Me too. And I'm like, sometimes it's like intimidating counting down the days to my release, but I'm also counting down the days to his release. So it's okay. It's okay. It's like a reward.
Yeah, it's like a present, it's like a gift.
I'm
Yeah,
also excited for Olivia's album because she said they're sad love songs, and I
I
love
need
sad
it.
music. I love
I
it.
Love sad music. Sad like
Same.
irony, sad music. Speaking of
Mm-hmm.
which, you mentioned Conan Gray. I'm still not over that he got snubbed from the Grammys. Him and Lorde getting snubbed from the Grammys.
Okay.
I could spill or spew, I guess, pure vitriol about it. Like,
Yeah, I do love Conan Gray and I love so many of his songs. He's like one of the people that I like to like scream in my car to.
oh yeah,
Hmm.
vodka cranberry hates to see me coming. Triple platinum in my car.
That and Romeo.
Yes.
I love Romeo so much. When he says like I think he says like I took that knife into my ribs and you took away my will to live. That I love that line. I was like, yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm a lifetime fan.
That's me with like his vocal riff on Care. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah.
I can't listen to that with people because I sound horrible, but
Fair. Fair.
oh well. Okay, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your books.
Okay.
So, obviously, this is your first book. So, for
Yes.
those of my slash our listeners that
Mm-hmm.
don't know much about you, but know that you
Mm-hmm.
have the prettiest freaking book cover on planet Earth, tell us a little bit about Second Time's a Charm. What's it about?
Yes, Second Time's a Charm is a fantasy rom-com. It's about a disgraced witch who has to move back to her hometown because she's inheriting her father's sanctuary for magical creatures. And there, she reunites with everything she left behind several years ago when she left, including her ex boyfriend, who's now an assassin and is the only person that can help her run this sanctuary and save it because it is in danger.
I'm blushing on the side. I'm sorry, but if I found out, okay, let's take the real life lens out of this.
Okay.
Assuming that my cutie pie ex-boyfriend turned out to
Mm-hmm.
be an assassin when I came back a couple years later,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's a green
Immediate.
flag. I mean, I'm like, and this is bad because
At some
she's
point,
beating me.
when I decided that Lekin was gonna be an assassin, I was like, are people gonna be okay with this? And I was like, yeah, we're gonna make it be okay.
Have you
I
read,
was like,
okay, dumb question. Have you read Throne of Glass?
yes.
Okay, you asking if Lakin's assassin like is are the readers going to be cool with this? That's like if assuming that all of the readers are like Kaol and it's like no, but she's an assassin. She's bad. Blah. She kills people.
You're so
What did you expect? What?
I did give Lakin like part of his character arc was giving him like a real logical reason for him to get into that line of work. So there
Okay,
is there is character development to it. It's part of the story. So I will say that.
love. Okay, noted. Um, I'm so curious. So, how did the idea of this book first form? Especially because it's a genre blend, which again, we'll
Hmm.
talk more on in a little bit, but like, what was that spark for Second Time's a Charm?
Right. So Second Time's a Charm is my first book to be published. I queried two other books previously that were both like darker and epic fantasies. And I think with them just not doing well in the query trenches, I was just ready for something new and something fun and like whimsical and all the things I love. But the sanctuary itself, so I'm a mom, and me and my daughter used to watch like all these animal TikToks. And every now and then I would get one with like an animal sanctuary. And I was like, what if I just like made it magical? I was like, in all these like epic dark fantasies, where are these dragons that go to war and get injured? I was like, what happened to them? Who's caring for them? And that's where the idea came from originally. The genre blend, I immediately wanted to write it, but I was kind of scared because, especially like cozy fantasy rom coms, they're not like brand new. You know, they're there, but they are still like growing. Like it was a little bit of a newer thing, especially to find on an agent's like wish list.
Hmm.
But luckily, I don't know. I think I hit it like with the right timing with the market, and that it is like being requested right now and stuff.
Yeah, that actually kind of perfectly bleeds into my next question. So you're obviously very public about being trad and like the timeline of trad and
Mm-hmm.
how that looks different for you versus an indie author. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you had mentioned like this was not your first book to be queried.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more just about the ins and outs of your trad pub journey.
Right. Okay. So I queried two books previously. They were both like darker epic fantasy, like I said. A lot of like assassins, dark magic, stuff like that. Just what you would expect. But I will say, like, obviously my first book, everyone's first book, it's rough. I will probably never touch that. It was so bad. Like looking back, I understand. But neither of those books really did anything in the query trenches. I think with Second Time's a Charm, I had more requests in the first 2 weeks than I did like the whole time I queried those other books. And I was like,
Wow.
you know what? Okay, maybe I was like, this book is gonna go somewhere. I did still query it though for 6 months until I got my first offer. One, I queried slowly because I started querying in September and I did have my second child in November. And if
Yeah.
you've ever been in the query trenches, it's rough. So I was like, I'm gonna take it slow. I don't want to get these rejections right now. So I picked it back up in January. And then I got my first offer of representation for my just a regular query. But my agent, Emily Forney, we crossed on a pitch event on Twitter that she actually liked my pitch the same day that I got that first email for a call. Like it was the exact same day. I was like, oh my goodness, like so much is happening to me. But that was how I queried Second Time's a Charm, which if you are interested in querying, I do post like my query letter everywhere. I'm pretty open about my querying stuff. Um, but yeah, and then we went on submission, which is a fun time.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a whole other can of worms. As somebody that
Mm-hmm.
is on submission, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to selfishly ask, what for you were the biggest differences querying versus going on sub?
Okay, so I'm gonna be really honest. Submission was like mentally way harder for me than querying was. Sub, like, and I would say I was really like I gonna like disclaimer, I sold in 3 months, so I wasn't on sub long, but I think there's like a sense of control with querying. You can see
Mm.
timelines, you can see how fast people reply, you can see everything. And sub, which I don't know about for you, but it was like almost pure silence.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so like different. And I don't know, I think the silence was worse for me than anything. I said I was on submission for 3 months. In those 3 months, I had heard from one other editor
Wow.
out of like 17 I still had not heard from. And actually, my editor, Kersaya, was not originally on my sub list. Um, Bookends, which is the agency I'm at, has like a quarterly newsletter that goes out to editors, and she happened to see it, and
Oh,
that's how
cool.
that's how my offer came in. So from my original sub list with 17 editors, I'd only heard from one in 3 months. Yeah. So sub was like crushing.
Yeah.
It's not a fun place to be.
No, no, it's not.
Mm-mm.
But I think it's still cool that both in querying and in submission for you, it was like the things that worked out for you were the unintended options.
Right. Yeah, because my editor happened to find me in that newsletter, and then my agent saw my pitch on a pitch event.
I feel like obviously you might have done multiple pitch events, but like I think
Mm-hmm.
I found you from a pitch event. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I feel like that's how I first learned who you were several years ago. I think it was when you were querying. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that it
probably.
was when you signed with your agency. I was like, oh shoot, I know her. That's so cool.
I will say, because I queried Second Time's a Charm for 6 months, I did do so many pitch events. And I remember that last one, I texted my friend, and I still have the screenshots because I was like, I will do this one last time. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm going to move on. I was like, I can't. Because I had like success with the pitch events, like I had some agent interaction and stuff.
Mhm.
So I felt like everyone had already seen it, but I was clearly wrong. So always pitch your book.
Yeah,
Always keep
there,
pitching it.
yeah, no shame. So I would hear all the time because I love posting on TikTok, but like I feel like you have to hold me at knife point for me to post on Instagram. And somebody finally told me, they're like, the more you post, the more likely somebody will see it. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about spamming people. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay,
If
fine.
you say so.
I mean, twist my arm. Ugh. Okay, so kind of rewinding back a little bit. So you were in the queer churches a total of 3 times. Was trad always the journey? Did you ever have any thoughts about going indie? How did you know that trad was what you wanted?
I was always gonna go for trad, but I will say this is like a disclaimer just because indie authors and self-published authors, they have to do so much.
Oh yeah.
And I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to. I was like, I don't have the spoons for that. I don't have and not everyone does it at the same financial stance. But that was like a big thing for me. I was like, I'm broke. I can't do that. So I just decided that I was gonna keep querying until it worked out or it didn't.
Honestly, respect. I think so many people disregard indies because it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't get the publisher or whatever. And it's like,
Right.
you know, they are the publisher. They've done so
They they
many
do
moves.
so much. And there's a lot of pros to like indie and
Yeah.
self-publishing when it comes to like having your control and everything. So there's a lot of bright sides to it.
Yeah. I feel like even though there are definitely plenty of hiccups and like obstacles for indies lately, I also
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's never been a better time to go indie than now.
I do feel like right now it's a good time. It's a little more accessible, at least with people being like honest about their like transparency and their journey and how they've done it.
Mhm.
There's so many indie authors that share their journeys and stuff. So it's easier to learn about. Because I will say when I started querying my first book, I knew nothing about indie. Like I didn't even know how it worked. I didn't understand it. I mean, self-publishing, you can kind of like assume self-publishing, but I literally did not know how indie publishing worked.
Yeah, the learning curve was crazy. I feel like the learning curve for both routes to publishing is insane.
Yeah.
Shout out to your agency because I binged the Bookends YouTube channel
Oh,
for hours and hours and hours trying
yeah.
to prep for trad. So they're real ones. Love them.
Yes, they're very helpful. I've seen a couple of their videos. I think Emily has at least one video that I've seen. I don't remember what it was about. Oh, it actually Emily has done a video about indie and trad publishing because she does represent some indie authors too.
I'm pretty sure I watched that video
Yeah.
too. And sometime after you signed with her, I was like, I know who she represents. Okay, so given your book is a genre blend, what is a genre blend that you're hoping to see more of publishing wise in the future?
This is such a fun question. I think genre blends are honestly like some of my favorite because I don't know. I love like anything that you put a little bit of magic in, like the speculative rom-coms that we're seeing. And but like the humor that we're seeing in other books too. Like we're seeing comedies in darker genres usually, like the dark romance that have some like comedies too. I can't think of their names right now, but I was gonna say one other thing. Oh, do you watch The Artful Dodger?
No, but I'm telling you, I'm dying to watch it because I love Maya Mitchell. And
Yes.
oh my gosh, he's from
Okay,
freaking Nanny
Maze
McPhee
Runner.
and Maze Runner.
Yeah.
Don't know his name off the top of my head. The one that's like 40 years old, but he looks like 18
I
constantly.
don't know. I can't name him either.
It's
But
gonna eat me alive.
that show is like it's historical, but it's so funny. Like it's hilarious. They've got like a modern soundtrack in there, and it's so funny. I love that. I like seeing more comedy and like historical too. That's fun.
Okay, historical comedy, The Great on Hulu.
Okay, I haven't watched that, but I know what you're talking about.
I will say very crass. It's very adult, but it is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Nicholas Holt and Elle Fanning,
Mm-hmm.
they crack me up. So yeah, if it's anything like that and like, splash some romance in there, I'm set.
Yeah, right. Like if there's a romance, I mean, I'm already interested, but I just am like a person who if there's a like the humor and the banter and the fun, it's just like a little fun adventurous thing, I'm gonna be interested in it. Like My Lady Jane too.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Love, love.
So good. Okay. So your marketing game is unmatched. Please don't try and deny it because it's true. Because book marketing's tough. It's so
It
tough.
is,
And it's
yes, yeah.
so like, I say this lovingly, it's so embarrassing for us as authors to like keep
Mm-hmm.
like saying the same thing over and over again,
One
like
of
a broken
like
record.
the biggest thing I feel like I've learned being an author is that it is 24/7. It's just begging. It
Yeah.
is like it's all you are begging for an agent, you're begging for editors, you're begging for support, you're begging readers to be interested. It never stops.
What would you say? So, first of all, it's a two-parter, but for you personally, what is your marketing strategy? Just sounds so professional. I
Yeah.
don't need to ask it like that. It's more like, how do you approach it for you personally?
Okay.
And then what is a piece of advice that you want to offer authors when it comes to marketing their book, whether that's, social media or talking about it, etc.
Yeah. For my marketing, I'm not gonna lie. I literally will just like open Canva and play around in there, or I will scroll through Canva and their templates and like get ideas. I think, and this is like goes into the tips for other authors too, is that one thing is that like when I got my deal for Second Time's a Charm, it was a year and a half out.
Mm,
And I think a lot of authors will try to start really pushing it really soon. When if you like wait a little bit longer, especially until you've got to cover pre-order links and especially like those last 3 months, because if not, it's really easy to burn out and run
mm.
out of ideas. Because Canva's fun, but it's time consuming. Like those edits take forever. I do now. I didn't always do this. It was probably just since like this year when I hit like that 3 month out mark. I make like a weekly schedule now because I have to fit it into my real life schedule to make time to do this stuff. But sometimes I'll also just like search up Bookstagram and I will just go through like popular posts or I'll look up like cozy fantasy and see what other people like are sharing, what they're liking, what's trending. Not that like I want to stay with trends and go with the algorithm, but it does work sometimes. I will say I think the thing that has helped me the most in marketing is talking about my journey.
Yeah.
Like my posts that do the best are about me and my querying journey or my publishing, things I've learned. And I feel like people just like I read somewhere, I don't know where this came from, But it said as a like debut author, one of the best things you can do is to pitch yourself as an author and not just your book, because you want them to buy your book, but you also want them to know your name. You want them to follow you as you go with this career, and they don't know you right now.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know. I feel like I connected with a lot of people over that, just sharing more about my journey and about how I got here. And I've made like a lot of friends on Instagram. Like you, like we've seen each other like in the crossroads, but you know, we more met so on Instagram. I think that's where I learned that we were actually in the same state too,
Hmm.
which is nice because in publishing, everyone is across the freaking globe.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, yep, I'm in Texas. Yay.
I know. I feel like depending on how far away you are from like DFW, uh
Mm-hmm.
the you would be surprised how big and like well knit the author network is over here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
nice because there are authors that are more inland that like have nobody, and I just feel so bad
Mm-hmm.
for them. Um, indies and trads alike. I feel like we have a good mix over here. So,
Yeah.
yeehaw, love Texas for that. Um, okay, so also thank you for the marketing advice. It's lovely. I too I doom scroll on Canvas the way that people doom scroll on TikTok for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I do too. There's so much good stuff there. Honestly, people will post like recipes and event schedules, and I'm like, I don't need this, but it's so cute that I want it.
Yeah, that and like Pinterest. Oh my goodness. I could live on Pinterest, I fear. Um, okay, so sort of what you were talking about how when you market yourself, you're talking about your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Every author's process is a little bit different. But give us a behind the scenes glance of like what does writing a book look like for you? Obviously, it's going to be different for each, but like what do
Yeah.
you have like a writing routine? How long does it usually take you to write a book? How do you like get in the zone?
I feel like this has changed a lot since before I was agented for one, but now that I'm under contract, because if you take Second Time's a Charm, for example, I drafted Second Time's a Charm in 3 months, and then I edited it for 3 months, and then I was in the queries. But now, like, I will, for example, I started drafting a book a couple months ago, but I'm still only like 8 chapters in. But that's only because like I now I'm between like this book and this book and this book that are all at like different stages. So I've had to like, yeah, I've had to wait and to write that one. And once you sell, because I'm contracted, you know, I sold Second Time's a Charm in a 2 book deal. So I'm contracted for those books. But then after that, a lot of people will sell on proposal. So while I have not done that, that's like the goal. So it's weird not to be writing like full drafts.
Hmm.
And even though I wrote Second Time's a Charm in 3 months, I'm not going to go 3 months anymore without hitting a deadline or something.
Yeah.
So, but aside from that, I will say I used to be like 100% a pantser, and I would not like outline anything, but I had to rewrite so much. And the last 2 books I've done, I do outline. I'll say they're vague, like they're not like super detailed, but it helps me so much. Like I'm definitely more like team outline now, which I feel like a traitor, but I do I do pants like a lot of it. But if I have like a vague outline, it just I don't know. I have to rewrite less mostly. I
Yeah.
don't have to go back, especially with the beginning of a book. My first chapters change way more than I would like. Um,
No
and
kidding.
not even like the whole chapter doesn't change, but like the whole structure of the chapter changes.
Yep.
Because like I have to go back and add so much world building and so many details. I am not like when I write a book, the first thing that comes to me is going to be like the characters and the banter. So I will go and write like a whole chapter of just dialogue, and then I have to go back and fill in everything else. And it's like torture for me to explain what a room looks like.
Oh
That's
gosh,
like the
yeah.
worst part of it.
I know anytime that
Um,
I would have to describe like a weapon, like a sword or something, I'm like, what do you want to know besides it's silver? Truly. Like metal, I'm out.
yeah, yeah. I remember the first time I edited Second Time's a Charm with my agent, Lakin, who is the male love interest. He had a flannel and she commented, she was like, I don't think these worlds have flannels. And I was like,
Why
you're so,
not?
I was like, you're right. And then there was a comment about, I don't remember exactly the wording, but it was about the female main character curb stomping them. And she was like, I don't think they have curbs. They don't have those. I was like, this is so hard. So I
I
had to take
know.
that. World building is so hard.
World building and like not using like too modern language or like modern items.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like my writing voice leans very modern, so like I have to tone that down sometimes. But I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, when I draft, I don't draft chronologically. I I
No.
don't you look so
No, I'm saying if somebody drafts chronologically,
chronologically. Okay,
I
so
think
you're with
they're
me.
psychotic. I don't know
Yeah.
how people do that.
Like
Uh, I have no
I
words.
go wherever I'm feeling like writing.
Yeah.
So if I don't, I will literally like parentheses come back to this later and we're skipping it. I when I sent my book to my friend Grace, who also just had a book come out this month, she was like, the amount of fill in later, she's like, you're gonna send me in, like you're gonna make me lose my mind here. Because I put in, I'll literally, if I like can't think of the exact word I want, I'll just type in like XYZ and I'll just leave it.
I love that. I
Yeah.
would put in like 8 asterisks and then like okay,
Yeah.
or like a bunch of underscores to know that there's a gap.
Yeah.
Um, oh my gosh. No, I have to bounce around because like if if I'm writing chronologically and I get an idea for a scene that's like in chapter 28 and I'm on
Uh-huh.
chapter 12 and I'm just not allowed to write it, what the
Who
heck?
says I'm not allowed to? Yeah. I'm
I'm
like, I'm
literally
gonna
my
go
own
where the,
boss.
exactly. I'm gonna go where the vibes are telling me to go, where the chemistry's going. Um, you said something, I keep losing my train of thought.
No, you're good. But speaking of chemistry, I first of all, I have to say I'm a person that's obsessed with like character names. I feel like they set the tone, especially when you're reading a blurb. Your characters, I resonate and I just love their names so much. I
And
love,
that means so much to me.
dude, I love Reese as a girl's name so much.
Yes. Yes.
And I love the name Lakin for a boy. I knew a girl in school named Lakin, but I was like, as a boy's name, that's sick. I really like that. So first of all, love
I
that.
I love
Um,
their names so much. So I'm so glad that you commented on it.
no, I would be remiss if I didn't say anything. But also, what were some of your inspirations for your two lead characters?
Oh, okay. So if you don't, well, I said it earlier, Second Time's a Charm is a second chance romance. I love a second chance romance. It's everything to me. I'll start with Lakin just because he's easier because Lakin is such like a complex character because he's an assassin, but he's also like in the story, she's grumpy and he's the sunshine. So, and I will say, I feel like I don't market this enough. The town doesn't know Lakin's an assassin. It's a secret to everyone until Reese finds out. She's the only other one that knows. So everyone town thinks Lakin is this like golden child. And that's when like Reese is like, "You're being so serious right now?" She's like, "Are we gonna pretend I'm the problem?" Um, but I compare him a lot to like Wesley in The Princess Bride because he was also like a farm boy that like he like turned it. I don't know what he technically is considered.
I don't know, but that literally almost made me burst into tears because I love Wesley Something Fierce. Oh my God.
Okay, I will say like Banter in Book Lovers by Emily Henry. That book changed my life. That book changed my brain chemistry. That is like, I really want to say that was like the first book where I stepped out of like fantasy and really went contemporary romance rom com. And that was one heck of a place to start because I don't think anything's topped it for me. I love Book Lovers so much. Um, Reese is like, I wanted Reese to always be like a loud female character who you don't see a lot. You know, she's not the sunshine one. She's not. I don't want to say she's mean, but she teases a lot with Lakin. You know, she's kind of like she's a little bit messy, a little bit sassy. Like she's a girl who says things sometimes in a conversation when you shouldn't. Um, because I always wanted her to be like that in the book. I feel like you don't see that a lot with especially women in romance books. I like a messy girl who is just still finding herself in this world. You
Hmm.
know, we see that a lot in I think like young adult, but you don't see it a lot in adult books. And I don't think that's fair because I too am a 27-year-old girl who's just living life and figuring it out, you know?
Hmm.
And that's Reese. She's my like messy female main character.
Good for her. I support women's rights and wrongs.
Yeah, I support her attitude too.
She's so real for that. Also, like, there's this one character art that you have of them in particular.
Hmm.
God, I can't remember who the artist is. I low-key want to pull it up, but it just captures them so well. Like everything that you're saying about Reese in particular, I'm like, I can see
Yeah. Yeah.
in that particular art too. Oh, yes, I found the post. Uh, this one.
Hmm. Yes.
And
Yeah.
like,
And I think
I'm sorry, he's everything to me.
yeah.
For all of my audio listeners, that pause and that like silent gag in the back was me giggling over character art that I quite literally pulled up on my phone on Instagram and just showed the camera. Um, yeah, no, obsessed.
And you could like see in her face like she's a little mischievous herself. She's
Hmm.
got like this little like smirk, but it's kind of almost a grimace because like she's like I hate you, but do I really?
Yeah,
Do
she's
I
up to
really?
something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to compare them to like Olivia Rodrigo's Get Him Back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, eat it up.
That actually reminds me, does this book have a playlist either inside or anywhere that we can experience the vibes
I
for?
myself have a playlist, but nobody's asked me for it. So if I ever like, if I mean, I can post it because I have it personally. I have a playlist for all of my books. I write to a playlist. Like I have to have music on. I don't write in silence. So yeah, they do. They
Okay,
do.
so besides getting back, please
Mm-hmm.
share one banger from your writing playlist for this book.
Oh, okay. For this book, oh, I'm trying to think of just one. A lot of it's like I said, like that indie music with like Noah Kahan and stuff. But if I had to pick, I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift's "You All Over Me."
Ooh,
Do you like that
oh,
song?
yes.
Yeah, because you get it. Because that's a big thing. Because the second chance romance, it just It goes. That's one of my favorite songs on the playlist.
My goodness. Ooh, I got chills. I feel like not a lot of people talk about that song anymore. So I was
That's
like,
why when I said it, I was like, I don't know if she's gonna know this.
girl, oh, I'm gonna know
I,
it. I promise. I wouldn't let you down like that. My friend was telling me, she was like, I caught up on all your episodes. Um, I have never learned more about Taylor Swift more than I have by listening to the podcast.
really?
She wasn't much of a Taylor listener. She's like, okay, I'm educated. So no. Oh, I got you.
You got me.
You're
Okay,
like,
so yeah, you get me then.
this is coming from the woman who's one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs is Superman. So I
I
will
get you.
always,
Yeah.
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 Okay. Last few questions. Dying to know. What is your favorite mythical creature from the sanctuary?
Okay, from the sanctuary. If I had to pick a favorite, and if you look on the cover, you can see her. There is a magical porcupine, and I love her. Her name is Phoebe. She disappears when she gets anxious, like literally vanishes. She is like her quills also have like a poison in them that plays a part in the later chapters with a fun wound healing scene. It's one of the funnest things I've ever written. But I mean, she's a magical porcupine. She disappears when she's anxious, and she has like a cute, like, I don't know what I'm talking about it. Like, I actually have one, but her bed is like a pink princess bed. She's like this spoiled little anxious porcupine, and I love her for that.
She sounds like my spirit animal.
Exactly. Like, she's a girl's girl.
Oh my gosh, I love her. And everybody else is going to love her too. And then obviously have to ask, be prepared for plenty of people to ask this now that your book is out, but is there anything you can tease about what is next for you?
Okay. I actually saw, so I just today got an updated cover sketch for book two.
Oh
So I'm like biting my tongue not to talk about it.
my
Um,
God.
it is slated for April 2027, but I can tease, and this is the only thing that I can say, it's completely outside of Second Time's a Charm, like completely different, and it is a paranormal rom-com.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my
I
God.
know. I'm literally like dying to talk about it. I do get to talk about it hopefully early summer, but sometime this summer. We want to give Second Time's a Charm its moment, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, of
then
course.
I can then I can talk about it and tease it more.
Okay. Now I do have to selfishly ask, how difficult is it to keep book secrets in the trad world? So, like, I know when you sold your book, there's usually
Hmm.
like a delay between, okay, it's sold versus it's on Publishers Marketplace.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you have to keep secrets and how difficult is that for you?
Okay, I will say for me, I knew that that was a thing, but when I sold Second Time's a Charm, I was expecting to have to keep it a secret, but I got to announce it like the next week. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I was allowed to announce super fast, which was really nice because that's all I wanted to do. Now, however, I do have my secrets. I always thought that like I wanted secrets because I wanted like vague things that I can't talk about. But with like Second Time's a Charm, like I announced this book, I posted when I did edits, like I shared like everything about it.
Hmm.
And now now I have a video, like I make videos every time something happens with book 2 so that I can catch everybody up. And we
Yep.
can all go through it together just at different times because I was like this is so like it's I don't want to say it's lonely, but it's like I can't talk about it. And
Yeah.
it's just it is like a different experience.
That's so cool, though. Oh, to have the pleasure of secrets to keep, but also I'm
I
such a blabbermouth. I can't even imagine.
I know I'm like so you guys I like sometimes I'll get news like today. I didn't post I usually post on my stories and tease like, oh, I got book 2 cover updates, but I didn't do that today. I was like, I'll just keep my secrets, whatever.
Well,
I
I'll
won't
keep
say
them with you
anything.
until this episode
I
is
feel like I'm pretty bad because like if anybody asks, I'm like, oh, you want me to tell you?
I
because
will.
I'm a yapper and I will tell you. So I've just had to stop posting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know. It's like you can't really kick the door open to the conversation at this point.
I know it.
But oh my gosh, that is so exciting. This has been so fun. I'm so stinking glad that we were able to get you. I say we, like
Yes,
not
me too.
just me working the pod, but I'm so glad that I could have you on the podcast. Um, oh my gosh. Yeah. So last bit, please tell our listeners where they can find you, whether that's any upcoming events, online, your website, all that good stuff.
Yes, I am most active on Instagram, which is by Taylor Epperson, and it's like written by like just BY. Um, I I will say I've had to put a disclaimer, but on my like other interviews, there is another Taylor Epperson, and she writes romance. I believe they're either indie or self-published. So disclaimer, my only book is Second Time's a Charm. I do not have any other books. If you see other books, it's not me. But I'm on Instagram. I do have a launch event, which is in Lindale, Texas. If anyone listening is over in that area, April 21st. But then I am coming to the Plot Twist Book Bar April 25th, which is Indie Bookstore Day 2. I'm so excited and I will be there signing too.
As somebody that like haunts the plot twist, I am so stoked that you're going to be over in my neck
I'm
of the
so
woods.
excited to go and I'm so excited and like just honored that they asked me to go for Indie Bookstore Day. I'm so happy.
Yeah. And that's a fun atmosphere to be in too.
That yeah,
Indie Bookstore
it's a
Day
big
is like
day.
springtime Christmas readers. So it'll be good. Awesome. Okay. Well, there you have it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast. And make sure to go follow it on Instagram and TikTok at TalkWordyPod. My special thanks again to Taylor Epperson for being on
Yes.
the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, you guys.